Every breath you take, every thought you form, every step you walk, all of it is powered by a silent currency that flows through every living cell: energy. Not food, not oxygen, but the molecule that actually turns those things into life: ATP. Adenosine triphosphate is your body's true fuel, produced endlessly by mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside each cell. Without it, nothing in your body can move, think, or survive. Now imagine what would happen if that system suddenly stopped. One morning, your cells simply refuse to make energy. No warning, no explanation, just silence from the very engines that keep you alive. At first, you might not even notice. You blink, you breathe, you sit up in bed. But inside, the power grid of your body is going dark. Muscles that once pulled without thought begin to weaken. Neurons that fired with lightning speed sputter and fade. The invisible current that sustains you is gone. Within minutes, confusion sets in. Your vision blurs. Your heart, which relies on constant energy to pump, stumbles. Organs starved of ATP begin to falter. What feels like ordinary fatigue is, in reality, the unraveling of life's foundation. This is not science fiction. It is biology pushed to its terrifying limit. And tonight, we're going to trace the collapse of the body, minute by minute, hour by hour, when cellular energy disappears. The question is not if you could survive, but how long? And the answer may be more horrifying than you ever imagined. The body is a city of trillions of workers, each cell a factory, each factory powered by ATP. These molecules are tiny batteries created constantly by mitochondria, and without them, every system in your body would grind to a halt. Imagine the strike beginning. One moment, the power plants are humming, the next, silence spreads. At first, you rise from bed as if nothing has changed. Muscles still contract, neurons still fire, the heart still beats, but only on the reserves left inside the cell. Within minutes, those reserves run out. ATP cannot be stored in bulk. Each cell keeps only enough for a heartbeat, a thought, or a single blink. When the reserves vanish, the systems begin to fail one by one. The first signs are subtle. A wave of weakness spreads across your arms and legs. Lifting a glass of water feels like lifting stone. Your vision dims slightly, the nerves struggling to process light. You rub your eyes, unaware the problem is not in the world outside, but in the power within. By the first hour, the collapse accelerates. Your brain demands more energy than any other organ, consuming nearly a fifth of everything you make. With no supply, neurons fire more slowly, then misfire entirely. The fog begins to spread across your mind. By the second hour, the reserves are nearly gone. Every thought feels sluggish, as if your brain were trudging through wet cement. You try to recall a name, a memory, a simple word, and it slips through your grasp. ATP is the spark of every nerve impulse, and without it, the mind begins to flicker. Your vision narrows. The light entering your eyes still strikes the retina, but the neurons responsible for processing that light are starved. Shapes blur, colors fade, and darkness creeps at the edges of sight. You blink rapidly, hoping to clear your vision, but the problem is deeper than your eyes. It is rooted in the collapse of cellular power. By the third hour, muscles across your body begin to betray you. Each contraction is powered by ATP breaking down into ADP, fueling the sliding filaments that allow fibers to move. Without energy, those filaments lock in place. Your legs tremble, arms quiver, and you find yourself unable to stand for long. Even swallowing becomes difficult as the muscles of your throat weaken. Your heart, a relentless pump, shows signs of strain. Each beat demands enormous energy, but ATP is no longer available to replenish the sodium-potassium pumps that keep the rhythm steady. Palpitations ripple through your chest, skipped beats that leave you gasping. Your pulse quickens in desperation, but the strength of each contraction wanes. The city of the body is losing power, block by block. By the fourth hour, panic sets in. Breathing feels shallow, not because your lungs lack air, but because the diaphragm itself lacks strength to contract fully. Oxygen is plentiful yet useless without the machinery to turn it into fuel. It is like pumping gasoline into a car with no engine. The resource is there, but the transformation is gone. Confusion deepens into fear. You stumble, collapse into a chair, struggling to comprehend why your body feels so alien. Sweat beads on your skin, but even the glands producing it falter as ATP dwindles. A chilling truth emerges. Life is not sustained by food, air, or water directly, but by the energy currency that ties them all together. Without it, every system unravels. The silence inside your cells is spreading, and the countdown has only just begun. By the 5th hour, your body is no longer just weak, it is unstable. Walking to the bathroom feels like wading through quicksand, every step draining more strength than the last. Your legs shake beneath you, unable to support the full weight of your body. Muscles spasm randomly, locking in painful cramps, a consequence of fibers stuck without the energy to release. The heart races to compensate, pounding erratically. Its electrical system runs on delicate ion gradients created by ATP, and without them, chaos reigns. The rhythm falters, then stutters, each beat less reliable than the last. Blood surges irregularly, sometimes with force, sometimes barely at all. You press a hand to your chest, instinctively aware something fundamental is slipping away. Your digestive system grinds to a halt. The stomach sits bloated, food from breakfast still lingering undigested. Muscles that normally churn and push nutrients forward now lie paralyzed, their contractions frozen mid-motion. Gas builds, discomfort spreads, and nausea rises. It feels like indigestion, but in truth it is paralysis, a machine with no power supply. By the 6th hour, your brain begins to fracture further. Thoughts blur into fragments, concentration dissolves, a sentence trails off midway, words scattered like broken glass, memory falters. You cannot recall if you drank water or whether you ate at all. You stare at the clock, but the numbers refuse to hold meaning. The organ that defines your identity is unraveling neuron by neuron. Vision wavers with strange distortions. Flashes of light streak across your eyes where none exist. Hallucinations creep in, faces in shadows, whispers that echo though the room is silent. The line between reality and illusion bends, and you are powerless to straighten it. By the 7th hour, breathing itself becomes a conscious battle. The diaphragm is too weak to expand the lungs fully. Each inhale is shallow, each exhale incomplete. Oxygen floods in, but without ATP, cells cannot use it. The paradox is suffocating. You are drowning while surrounded by air. Panic sharpens, but even panic requires energy, and your body cannot muster much more. The kidneys, though dependent on cellular power themselves, falter catastrophically. Filtration slows, then stops. Waste builds rapidly in the bloodstream, urea, creatinine, acids, all rising unchecked. Blood turns into a poisonous broth, circulating failure with every heartbeat. The very fluids meant to sustain you now deliver death with each pass through your veins. By the 8th hour, collapse feels inevitable. You attempt to stand, but your legs buckle instantly, body crumpling like a puppet with its strings cut. On the floor, your muscles twitch uncontrollably, stuck between contraction and release. The spasms are violent, painful, and relentless, the final sparks of neurons misfiring without power. Your skin grows clammy, pale, and cold. Sweat glands falter, temperature regulation crumbles. Heat builds inside, uncooled by evaporation. You feel feverish, flushed, though the room remains the same. The body's thermostat, another ATP-driven machine, has failed. The city inside you is shutting down district by district. The lights are flickering out, the streets emptying, the engines grinding to silence. And yet, the worst has only begun, because the brain, the heart, and the lungs still have further to fall. By the 9th hour, the body is nearly unrecognizable from the one that woke in the morning. The weakness is no longer a burden. It is absolute. Every attempt at movement ends in failure. Muscles quiver, collapse, or seize in painful spasms. The simple act of raising an arm feels impossible, as though chains are binding your limbs to the earth. Your heart begins to betray you openly. Potassium, unchecked, floods the bloodstream, erasing the gradients that kept its rhythm steady. Each contraction is erratic. Sometimes a strong beat, sometimes only a faint flutter. The pulse under your wrist flickers like a faulty wire, sending dread through every nerve still capable of sensing it. The brain continues to sink into chaos. Hallucinations intensify, no longer just shadows and whispers. Entire scenes play before your eyes, people who are not there, voices calling your name, fragments of memory twisted into nightmares. You reach out, but your hands close on nothing. Your neurons, once a symphony of perfect timing, now fire in disarray. By the 10th hour, breathing is shallow and frantic. The diaphragm contracts weakly, unable to pull enough air. Carbon dioxide builds, acidifying your blood, compounding the crisis. You pant like a runner at the end of a marathon, yet you are motionless in bed. Each breath feels less like life and more like delay. The digestive system, frozen since the morning, has become a source of torment. Food rots in your gut, bacteria feeding on it and releasing gas. Your abdomen bloats painfully, pressing against your organs, while nausea churns like an endless tide. Vomiting threatens, but even that reflex is too weak to succeed. By the 11th hour, seizures loom at the edge of consciousness. Neurons, choked by toxins and deprived of energy, misfire explosively. Muscles jerk uncontrollably, arms thrashing, jaw clenching. For terrifying seconds, you are no longer present, just a body locked in violent spasms. When the storm passes, you lie still, drenched in sweat, trembling in fear. Your family, if they are near, sees only confusion. You speak in fragments, words broken into nonsense syllables. You try to ask for help, but the request dissolves before leaving your mouth. To them, you look lost, as though your mind has wandered far from the room. And in truth, it has. By the 12th hour, the city of your body is deep in blackout. The heart still fights, the lungs still strain, the brain still flickers, but each system is held together by threads ready to snap. The strike of your cellular power plants is no longer invisible. It is written on every trembling limb, every shallow breath, every fading thought. By the 13th hour, exhaustion is total. The body is no longer yours to command. Muscles tremble without reason, lips twitch with every failed nerve impulse. Even lying still feels like a battle, every cell screaming for energy that never comes. Your skin begins to betray you. Pallor spreads, turning once warm tones into grayish wax. Clamminess settles in, sweat no longer cooling the body but soaking it uselessly. Temperature regulation falters. One moment you shiver violently, the next you burn with feverish heat. The thermostat has broken. By the 14th hour, your heart teeters at the edge of chaos. Potassium and sodium have reached lethal levels, distorting the rhythm with every beat. The monitor line, if connected, would spike erratically, then flatten without warning. Each pause between beats feels like eternity, each resumption a cruel reprieve. The lungs, already weak, begin to fill with fluid. Each shallow breath gurgles with wetness, rattling through airways that cannot clear themselves. The sensation is unmistakable. You are drowning inside your own body. Oxygen slips away with every incomplete inhale, starving the very cells that need it most. By the 15th hour, the brain plunges deeper into delirium. Sentences collapse mid-word, thoughts spiral into incoherent fragments. The hallucinations intensify until they become indistinguishable from reality. A shadow in the corner becomes a figure. A murmur of air becomes a whisper. Fear floods you, though you no longer know why. Seizures erupt again, stronger and longer than before. The body stiffens, jerks, then collapses back into stillness. Neurons fire randomly, wasting the last sparks of energy. When you awaken, confusion is complete. You no longer recognize the room or even the faces around you. By the 16th hour, swelling spreads through your tissues relentlessly. Ankles, legs, abdomen, all balloon with trapped fluid. The pressure presses against your lungs, making each breath shallower, each gasp more desperate. You are not just weak, you are drowning slowly, suffocating beneath your own weight. The kidneys, already silent, now poison the blood with every heartbeat. Urea rises like a tide, acids flood unchecked, ammonia suffocates the brain. What was once a clean river has become a swamp of decay. The bloodstream is no longer life. It is a slow-acting poison. By the 17th hour, consciousness flickers. You drift in and out, unable to hold on to wakefulness. Dreams blend with hallucinations, reality with illusion. To observers, your eyes open and close randomly, your lips mutter nonsense. But to you, the world is breaking apart into fragments of memory, nightmare, and silence. The 18th hour arrives with the body at war with itself. The heart races, then slows. The lungs gasp, then sputter. The brain sparks, then dims. Every system that once worked in harmony now drags the others down. Multi-organ failure is no longer approaching. It is here. Survival is now measured in minutes, not hours. By the 19th hour, the body feels like a sinking ship. You are adrift in delirium, moments of clarity swallowed by waves of confusion. Speech has vanished into slurred syllables, gestures into trembling twitches. You are present in body but absent in mind. Swelling crushes the lungs further. Fluid fills every available space, pressing upward into the chest. Each inhale is shallow, gurgling, frantic. The sensation is pure suffocation. You are drowning without water, suffocating without air. Oxygen levels plummet, starving the brain and heart with every gasping breath. By the 20th hour, the heart is in open rebellion. The balance of ions has collapsed entirely. Beats are erratic, strong, weak, or absent. A pause stretches too long, then a frantic burst of rhythm surges forward, like a broken engine sputtering to life before stalling again. Death lurks in every skipped beat. The brain swells under relentless pressure. Neurons misfire wildly, some bursting under chemical stress. Seizures come and go, leaving the body limp and trembling. The person you were is dissolving neuron by neuron, awareness shattered into silence. By the 21st hour, your body is a vessel of chaos. Kidneys are gone, heart is staggering, lungs are drowning, brain is flickering. The city within you is a blackout, skyscrapers of tissue collapsing floor by floor. You are no longer fighting, you are fading. The 22nd hour pushes you to the edge of coma. Breathing is shallow, irregular. The heart misfires with long pauses, each one threatening to be the last. Consciousness slips in fragments, eyes opening only to stare blankly at nothing. Loved ones calling your name cannot reach you. By the 23rd hour, coma is complete. The body lies still, chest rising only with the help of shallow reflex. The brain is swollen, darkened, neurons drowned in toxins. Machines could hold the line, dialysis could cleanse, a transplant could save, but without them, time runs out. At the 24th hour, silence falls. The heart falters into arrhythmia, then flatlines. Breaths cease, the chest stills, the body surrenders. The strike of cellular power has finished its work. Without ATP, without energy, life itself cannot continue. A single day was all it took for the foundation of survival to collapse. Without cellular energy, existence is measured not in years, not in days, but in minutes and hours. The terrifying truth is simple. The moment the power stops, so do you.